What's up, everybody? It's a school night. It's a new night. Well, it's not a new night. It's like a regular old night, but it's a school night, and I don't usually do a show on a Sunday night, so I'm a little weirded out. But I promised, since it was a school night, to my dear woman that I would only drink 2 beers, so this is one of them.
Yeah, that's 2 beers. That's actually 4 beers.
Doesn't matter. So, everybody listening, this is Owen and Dirt's Pop Culture Radio. Thank you very much for listening on this school night. I'm a little amped. I am Owen Money. Across from me is my partner in crime, Dirt McCoy.
That's right.
He's the real McCoy.
I didn't say yes, sir, this time. You hear that? I said, that's right.
That's right. I like that better. I'm not a sir at all. Speaking of sirs over there, the sir that lost his beard, and I'm not just talking about his woman, so that he can disguise his homosexuality.
I was going to say.
I was getting there.
I didn't know if you knew the homosexual reference to beard.
I knew what he was saying.
It's unbushy.
Yeah, I'm smoothie now.
No.
Tropical smoothie.
I'm still calling him bushy so that people can look at him and go, oh, he must have a big bush.
If you're making the gay joke, then you're going to be fruity smoothie.
Fruity smoothie? Yeah, I don't know about that. But, hey, how you doing, big guy? You still itchy?
Still itchy. Today, as I was telling you, is probably the best I've been in about 4 or 5 days, but it's totally random.
Okay. Well, you're getting over it, sounds like.
No, because it goes up and down. It's been doing this for 3 months. Like it gets really bad, and then it tapers off for about 3 or 4 days, getting a little bit better each day, and then it comes back. Let's not talk about that.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like torture, but I don't know.
I'm going to start getting itchy just from talking about it.
Well, I don't know if I would rather have some skin virus itchiness on me, or I'd take another 10-hour road trip with the family.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. What did you just say? A 10-hour road trip with the family?
Yeah.
What exactly did you fucking do?
Well, okay, look, I'll get into this in a minute. It was a work trip. I had to go on a work trip for a couple nights.
Okay.
And my pregnant woman, who's about ready to pop, man, I was playing.
Who has a name, by the way?
I was the Boston Brit, she's
Her
beautiful.
picture's on the fucking screen.
Yeah, where is she? She's
over there.
No, this way, that way. Dude, last night I was playing with the baby in her belly. It was really weird. I didn't get to do this with the girl.
This makes me uncomfortable whenever people say this shit. Like, exactly how is this happening? Did you have a snorkel? Like,
no, listen. It was. She's all the time saying, "Hey, feel my belly right here. He's moving," or something like that. And I always feel, and I'm like, it feels like you're hiccuping or something. I don't feel fucking anything. But last night, I rolled over. She's like, "You got to feel this." I felt it, and no shit. I felt like a knee or a hand or something just pretty much just rub my hand like I'm doing like this with my knuckle. I'm like, motherfucker. So I pushed on it in one area and put my hand back, and I felt him push back a couple times. It was fucking weird. I'm like, she's like, oh, this is making me uncomfortable. Physically uncomfortable. I'm like, be quiet. Me and him are playing.
We're bonding.
You shut up.
Shut up, you.
I'm playing with my kid.
So that was pretty cool. And this pregnancy, it must be uncomfortable having something like that, not walking, but kicking and moving and rolling.
Oh,
right.
I can't imagine. If I was a woman, I can't imagine ever having a kid. Even just the idea of it is.
There's a lot of stuff about being a woman that I can't imagine, but I know what you mean.
Has anybody...
Like having a big hairy dude in your house.
Dude, I hope she's not listening right now. I hope this is bad what I'm about to say, but like when we're having the sex...
don't say the sex.
The normal...
He's nearly 50. It tracks.
The normal passageway inside there, it's totally going in a different direction now because it's so full. Like you can't go straight anymore.
Somebody moved the map for Curly's Gold, is what you're saying?
It pretty much
There's
goes
a speed bump now on the highway.
It pretty much goes in and then down. So.
Oh, you gotta turn around.
I know that's what my dick kind of curves up. So if we do missionary style, that's not happening. It's like unless I bend my dick down. And
no,
that's
you got to do a handstand and have her face down on the end of the bed.
Not with that belly.
This sounds like Cirque du Soleil shit.
It is. It's fun. That's all I'm going to say. And then taking a 10-hour road trip with a 1-year-old, a 4.5-year-old, a pregnant woman, 2 dogs. It was a wonderful thing, and it was a great idea.
Whoa, you said the family. You took the dogs too?
They're part of the fucking family. What am I supposed to do with them?
I agree with you when it comes to dogs being part of the family. I just assumed because you had already made the irrational decision to take
Yes.
the wife and both the kids that surely you didn't fucking throw the dogs into the mix. It's like old McDonald fucking going to the market. Is that what you're doing?
Well, look.
For 10 fucking hours?
It was Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I took a look at the plane flights, and I couldn't help the whole time on this trip saying I could have flown. But I took a look at the plane flights, and they were like, I don't know, $300 a seat. And then nowadays, you buy the seat, but you have to pay for your carry-on. You have to pay for your checked luggage.
When you got to bring tools, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
And I had some tools. I'd either have to FedEx them or I'd have to drive them up there myself. So I go, you know what? I'm not putting the wear and tear on my vehicles. I'm going to rent a car. We've been thinking about getting a full-size SUV since a third baby's on the way.
Yeah.
And we just haven't. They're so fucking expensive now.
Yeah. They're like $100,000 now.
Yeah. So I rented one. It was like $100 a day. It was a 3-day rental. I rented a big old Expedition Max.
But dude, if you got a rental for $100 a day, that's really fucking good, by the way.
Yep.
I don't know if you know how good that is for a car rental.
Especially
Rentals
for
are
something that
expensive.
large.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was awesome. I enjoyed the vehicle. It was the bigger one, so we folded the back row down. We had the 2 kids in the middle, and then all my work equipment and the dogs in the fucking very back. And it was all right, except for 10 hours having a pretty much a 1-year-old strapped in a little car seat and a 4.5-year-old who forgot his fucking tablet and had nothing to watch, was just screaming and yelling. And then my lovely woman, the reason we decided to all go together, she wanted to help me drive. And she did a little bit, and that was great. However, like when the boy would act up, she would scream at him, and then he would yell back, and then they would yell back and forth, and my head started to hurt, and I couldn't help but thinking I could have fucking just flown. But, hey, memories were made, people were yelled at, arguments were had, but we got there. She drove a lot. It was awesome. It was pitch black when we got there. However, the drive there took like 13 hours instead of like 10.
Yeah, because you got fucking 3 extra people that need to piss. No, I take that back. 3 people and 2 dogs.
Yep.
Besides, so here's another thing that backfires on me. I'm thinking, I'm nice. I'm a nice guy here. I'm taking my family on a work trip. She's bored. She's almost ready to pop here at the house. I can't leave her for 2 days with these kids. She's the dogs. Honey, come with me. You know what? On the way up there, let's stop in Ocala and see my grandmother. We have the whole family. Let's have breakfast with my grandmother at the Waffle House. And
where's that extra 3 hours?
So usually I don't tell my grandmother I'm coming through until like the day of, and like I'm 15 minutes away. I'm like, hey, I'm coming through. Let's go have breakfast. But again, I'm planning this little trip for us. I decide, hey, I'm calling my grandmother, give her a heads up the night before. Coming through, let's meet at Waffle House. Okay, what time? 7 o'clock, whatever.
That's not what it sounds like.
So,
oh yeah, you're coming through. What time?
So,
what time are you gonna be there? Is Bushey coming?
No, Bushey didn't come. However, so that morning when we were setting
Maybe
out,
if Bushey came, I'd like it.
well, if Bushey was there, she might not have made us wait so long. So maybe next work trip, I'm throwing him in the back with the dogs. But no, next time I'm not calling my grandmother. I hate to say that, but so. This is the thing. I tell her we're going to be here at a certain time. She says, okay, but take your time. And I'm like, take my time.
Take your time.
We got delayed with traffic a little bit there, like 15 minutes. We finally get to Waffle House. I have to call her. I'm like, where are you at? She goes, I went over to my friend's Diane's house. We're going to come over there and meet you. We're on our way. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, we already established what going to Diane's house means.
Yeah. It was her friend, and it was an hour later when they finally showed up. I had to call her again. I'm like, where are you, Grandma?
Well, when you're old, you fuck slower.
That needs to be on your tombstone. When you're old, you fuck slower.
I gotta dry this up before I go get my Waffle House.
sit on a pillow for a few minutes
I really don't think so. But
before I take that long 5-minute car ride.
so I'm calling her. I'm like, where are you? She's like, oh, we had to stop by the vet real quick for the cats. And I'm like, what cats? Like,
That's
what?
code. She's talking about icing down the puss.
I had to go see my puss doctor. That's what I call him.
Snaggle
She has to stop by the boxing gym and see her cut man.
Anyway, so the old lady finally rolls up with her friend. Maybe they're lesbians.
There's so many visuals to go along with the cut man joke. I'm like, I'm stuck on that.
Cut me, Mick.
Look, there is something weird. I don't know why this woman, who's like 20 years younger than my grandmother, would hang around her so much. It's kind of weird. One of these
But
days,
your grandma's a fun time. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, your grandma's cool.
No, she's hilarious.
dude, I did one time. I was working up in Ocala, and I switched her brake light out for her and stuff like this. And she rewarded me by letting me pick up Diane with her and going to this little diner called Wolfie's in Ocala.
Yeah.
It's a nice little diner, like typical small town diner thing. But I've never seen my grandmother like this. Like, I guess they go there so often, like all the staff knows her. And the staff would come up, say, hey, you crazy old bat. And my grandmother would go, hey, ugly face. Like,
You see, your grandma's the shit.
See, that's what she's learning from us.
that's how we greet each other.
She's like, oh, in order to be cool these days, you gotta treat your friends like shit.
Literally the first time she goes there, hey, what up, fuckhead?
She's
Bring
like,
me my grits.
You fucking slut. How you doing, you dirty fucking slut? I'll take extra pancakes, you whore. Get me some more coffee, you whore. My grandma needs to turn the radio off.
She would elbow me and like kind of grab my hand, like, wait for this one. And then like the waitress would walk by and she'd be like, what are you doing today, ugly? You're not working fast enough. Grandma, it's not funny.
No, it's like all those YouTube views have gone to her head because I told her, I was like, hey, you're really popular on the show. I was like, every time you're on the show, people love it. And then she's like, oh, not me. Oh, what's wrong with those people?
Oh, she's acting out.
She's become an obnoxious TikToker.
But she's not recording, and that's the problem. She's just an obnoxious old lady. But anyway, they
I
find
see her on Jackass. Hey, I'm Owen's grandma. Watch me fix 16 raccoons in my ass.
No. So anyway, so an hour later, after we're there at fucking Waffle House, we already ate. Kids are done. I'm done. I'm ready to fucking get on the road. Because, we have to go through Atlanta, we have to go through Chattanooga, traffic galore, and my grandmother's just delaying me and They finally show up right when I'm about to pay the fucking bill and get out and say, sorry, see you next time, old lady. Her and her friends show up, so we have to sit there, I buy them breakfast, we eat. 45 minutes later, we're on the fucking road, and of course, we get caught in traffic and wrecks and bullshit, and I can't stand driving.
I'm
these
sorry,
people.
you show up 45 minutes late to a lunch meet with me, you're eating by yourself. I'm done.
Well, here's what it was. My grandmother
You can watch me argue about the tip and fucking pick my teeth at that point.
My
Why
grandmother.
I say argue about the tip? I'm going to ask you why I got charged for extra bacon when I didn't get no fucking extra bacon.
No, my grandmother's very proud of her grandkids, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
And she wanted to show them off to her friend. And so she worked this whole deal. Oh, they're on their way. I'm going to go to my friend's house, and we're going to come over there. But she didn't know her friend had some errands to do.
I got you.
Whatever. Again, why be fucking nice? Why try to make family matter?
I mean, there's a real answer to that question, or do you want...
Yeah.
Well, the reason why you try is because you're a good fucking person.
I just love killing
The reason
myself
why
in the nuts.
this happens is because your expectations are way too fucking high.
I expect somebody to be on time or 15 minutes late, not go to your friend's house and then go to the vet to check on a cat. You can do this after I'm on my way to fucking Tennessee, I love you, Grandma.
God, your expectations are so high. Wanting people to do what they say they were going to do. What an asshole.
No. Here's the thing. Your expectations have to be relative to your previous fucking experiences.
Yeah.
If you understand that this is the way shit works,
She works
then
like this.
Then you gotta plan for that.
Well, then I hate to say it, but by that logic, it's actually your fault.
I
yeah,
know,
that's
I
what I'm
know.
saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you not see me over here blaming everything on him?
I could have for a little bit there. I almost bought the tickets, and I could have. I got the clear thing, so I don't even have to stand in the security line. I just do my thumb, and I walk right to the plane. I could have FedExed my shit. Could have flown there, had 2 days relaxing. We got an Airbnb. This is the first time I've ever done a fucking Airbnb, and because I had the family, the dogs. I don't really want to be in a little box stuck with the kids and the dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I look. A hotel room's $200. $150. Some of them decent one.
Yeah.
This Airbnb was like $300, but it was a 4-bedroom. Had a jacuzzi or hot tub. Had a full pool, private pool. So I'm like, I got to do it. So I'm thinking it's going to be like $600, $700, but Airbnb charges you something, a service fee, which is like over $100. And then the motherfuckers charge you a cleaning fee. I guess, the payment I'm paying for your house is enough. So that was like $300 clean. Anyway, it was still cheaper, I think, than a high-end hotel, and the privacy you got was pretty fucking cool.
Feels a little more homey.
Yeah. And when I went to work, instead of getting to stay and relax like they did while I was fucking working, I had to go to work, and then I come home and I have to deal with everybody. It was great. I loved it. I mean, I get to be with everybody is what I meant to say. However, I had to work in the morning. I had like a 3-hour lunch break. Then I had to work a little bit in the afternoon. And for that lunch break, usually I don't leave the dogs by himself, especially not in a hotel room. It makes him go crazy. Tucker, my dog, he has a...
Well, yeah, but wasn't the family there, though?
No. Airbnbs, you can stay without a host. That was it. No person was there.
He's talking about the rest of your family.
Okay. No,
Yeah, I'm saying, like, you said that you don't leave the dogs alone, but weren't they at home with...
But here's what I'm saying. But at lunch, we decided to fucking go out and grab something.
You all
real
went
quick.
out and got lunch and left the dog there.
Yeah, and so I was like, you know what? He's really bad separation anxiety, but we're in a house. There's a lot of our stuff's here. Our blankets are here. The other dog's here. I think he's going to be okay. And he seemed all right, and we left. We only went to, like, a place barbecue, and then we went to other couple, like, stores real quick. Then we came back to the house. And the motherfucker, I guess, must have freaked out. And this is what he's done to other things. He chewed the fucking trim right by the door. Chewed a huge chunk off. So as soon as I get back from work, I had to go to Home Depot. I had to get some. I tried to fix it up as best I could with a little not sander, but like sandpaper.
Yeah.
And I painted it, and I had to tell the people, and I'm waiting to hear how much this is going to fucking cost me.
Huh.
But I guess I should have. Put a hairdryer on it or something. But some of my luggage, when I was packing, I got paint on it. And then I didn't know that. And then as I'm loading the fucking Ford, I leaned against it, and there's paint all down the side of one of the doors, white paint.
Oh, my God. So because your dog damaged the door at the Airbnb, you got paint on your rental.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Could have flown. I could have flown. But you know what? I had a good, there was 2 times I actually got to get in the hot tub. We had, it was nice. It was relaxing, and then it was work the rest of the time, and then it was another 10-hour drive home, which I will say, I got a fucking migraine out of it was crazy how bad my migraine was. I almost threw up in the vehicle, but I laid.
No, that's all. That tracks. Based on what you just told me. I migraine acceptable, understandable.
I laid down in the back with the dogs. I was sleeping in the bed thing. The dog bed, and she drove most of the way home, which was fucking awesome. So I appreciate that.
That also tracks. I'm like, I just see this whole thing right now, and what's so funny to me about it is all this shit you're talking about. I kind of feel like you're the one going, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And Brittany's the one going, "What the fuck? What the fuck? Sit the fuck down. Let me handle this shit."
Well,
pregnant as shit. She's the one who's like, she's the wolf on fucking Pulp Fiction trying to fix everything.
She me and her did. I'm like, I didn't realize how hurtful my words can be sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, when I say I could have flown and avoided all this shit, I guess it's hurtful sometimes.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, I definitely could feel that.
So she said that. And And I told her I didn't mean about that. I said I need to like focus when I'm at work. It needs to be work.
Right.
And I need to stop. What the fuck is this?
Oh.
Is that me?
No, that's me.
Is that her? Did I say her name 3 times? I love her so much.
Brittany, are you there?
Yes, I.
Hey, hot stuff. I was just talking about how much fun I had on vacation with you.
You're breaking up
Explain
really
to
bad.
you guys.
What?
Go ahead.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your connection sucks. I guess we'll have to talk to you next time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, let me explain something to you guys. He goes to Tennessee for a day, for just 12 hours. He's there. He's going to fly there.
And
Then
fly
he
back.
says,
What's
oh,
wrong
they
with that?
emailed me. Hold on. They emailed me and they wanted me to do more, which means I need to bring more equipment. I rent a car, drive there. Long drive, that's 10 hours. I said, dude, I love long trips. I'll drive. No, it's work. It's work. It's on Veterans Weekend.
So you're
all the
right. You're right.
flights are
This was
gonna
your
cost-
idea.
Sorry.
She can't hear
So I
me.
told him, I will drive. I have no problem. He's like, you have road rage. Like, no, tomorrow.
That tracks.
I was perfectly fine.
Uh,
Motherfucker, though.
okay.
I was fine
Who
except
was
for all those
driving?
other people on the fucking
I was
road.
having heart attacks.
Well, again, I should have flown.
Yeah, people.
Honey, you're
Your
It would
connection
have
is really
cost
bad.
you
Yeah,
like
right.
$3,000.
Hey, babe. Hey,
You're breaking up every.
You're breaking up. Can you get closer to like the Wi-Fi router?
Can you
or
go
something?
walk to a cell phone tower, please?
Can you find a
Hold on.
landline?
That?
Nope.
Is that better?
Nope.
Yeah, that
No.
was right there. There we go. Keep
How about
talking.
here?
Put your hand up in the air.
How about here?
There you go. Yes.
you go.
Okay.
No.
So
He
basically, what
was
she's
the one
saying.
that had traffic.
Exactly. I don't like traffic. That's what the whole point of me flying
Then
and not
I should
driving.
have drove the entire way.
Or you should have stayed
And you
home with
should
the
have
kids.
just been the passenger.
You're right. You're right. You should have just drove the whole way. It was that. Or great. I'm glad that's settled. Anything else you wanted to say, my love?
But he makes it like exact.
All right. Hey, you need to hang up your phone and find a good signal place because you were really breaking up.
Hey, Brittany.
Well, I'm also calling you through Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what
So
it is?
yeah. So also, Brittany, I want to be clear about this. If you were listening to the show, I was the one that told him. It sounds like he was the one freaking out, and that you were the one that was like, what the fuck did you expect?
Exactly. Yeah. She's,
Exactly.
Yeah.
all right.
All right. By the way, I will never stop enjoying hearing these stories. So please keep making poor decisions.
But hey, while I got you on the phone, babe, listen. Let's talk about last week real quick. On the show last week, we had a phone
Oh
call
my God.
with Luscious Lisa, the Luscious Lisa, and she's very luscious.
So
And-
wait, so Brittany, you don't remember? You didn't know? You didn't remember that you had met Luscious Lisa before, right?
Okay. First, I've seen her
Yeah.
from a distance.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but her on the phone,
Yeah. Her voice sounds different when she's
You
being
did-
just
she
regular.
sounds gorgeous,
Yeah.
like hot.
Yeah.
and she
Sounds
is.
hot as fuck.
Yeah.
So her
Yeah.
hitting on him,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
the way that she was talking,
You thought it was directed straight at me. Yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You
Yeah.
need to get a better connection because you keep dropping out every other word. All right, let me tell
All
him
right.
the story. Listen,
All right.
hang up the phone, hon, and I'll finish this story.
All right. We'll talk about it in a bit. All right. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, the thing is, she didn't really remember who Luscious Lisa was and was thinking it was like some porn star, which I guess, like we said, when you pull it up, Luscious Lisa, a porn star comes up. But then she had to remember, like she went to that concert and she looked her up and all
She
this
didn't
shit.
remember meeting her.
But she got really fucking jealous on the phone hearing this, like what she thought was a porn star.
Oh yeah.
Fucking calling me saying, I have a tight pussy and big tits, and a heart of gold.
Friend me, baby.
Which, by the way, I think is the name of a song she's done. Not really. No, but I mean, like, literally, that's her whole, like, character and content for all of her albums has literally been that. Yeah.
And so she went online and she found her and remembered that we fucking met her in that Just Okay party. And
and
she's like, I know who this is. Yeah. And the whole time, the next day, after she calmed herself down and was like, okay, this is friend, not enemy, she realized, or that smashed the window. So she just fucking sang it all day the next day. So definitely.
I do have a hold on one second. We have a voicemail. Listener of the show, actually friend of the show, I would say. He's been on the show multiple times. My brother in comedy, Minnie.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Minnie apparently just heard your story, and he left me a voice memo because apparently he's in the middle of some stuff. He wants to talk to you for a second.
Okay, yes, Minnie.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I don't know what time of day it is where you at, Mr. Owen, if I can call you Mr. Owen. But I just received some news that you don't learn lessons very well, sir. Listen, I, as a young man, decided to have a baby with a 6'5" tall blonde German woman that I knew the moment I did that my life was gonna fuck up. Okay? I did not do it unknowingly that my life was going to be shit for the next couple months. But, sir, even I didn't make that mistake twice. You, sir, just likes to cut yourself and then put salt on the wound, goddammit. So, did you learn from the first time not to take your family on business trips? It's business. The only business they gonna get into is your shit. Your business. And you don't want that. You probably right now 3 shots down of tequila, trying to survive the storm. But I'm gonna tell you something, sir. Let this be the last. Like Martin Luther King Jr. Jerome said, let this be the last, nigga. Please, next time, just go ahead by your goddamn self. I'm not saying to get coked up and get some hookers. That's not what I'm saying, Owen. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, stop bringing your kids and your family, boy, or your shit gonna be sad. Sad, sad, sad. Once again, this is Minnie, your favorite elf of the season. Motherfucker, peace, goodbye.
I can't.
That motherfucker never stops being a fucking beast. I love him.
And you need to send that to Owen. So every time he goes to plan a trip with the family, he just plays that, and he's like, well.
All right. I will say, with all the shit that went wrong and frustrated me and had me pulling my hair out, there were a couple moments like when me and the boy, we were out on the back patio, and then the dog starts barking, and we look out the window, and there's like this family of deer just right outside the window walking through and eating, and he'd never seen that, and we were so close to him. So there was a couple moments like that, which,
totally made it worthwhile.
Well, you're right. We could have done that some other time, some other place. There's deer here in fucking Florida, walking the woods. I don't know. But, hey, their memories and their 15 minutes of fucking radio gold, I guess. So that's why I'm doing it. I haven't heard from Budget yet about the vehicle and the paint, so I'm sure it happened in the parking lot after I dropped it off.
If the show ever starts making money, we'll just have to pay for you to go on trips with the family, so we keep having content.
But all right. I've downed my half of my allotted beer that I said I was going to have. When let's take a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we got some stuff to talk about. Aaron Hernandez, Christy Martin.
Yep.
Some other stuff I have up here if we get to it. By the way, it's Vanilla Cupcake Day. For some reason.
Is that a rapper?
No, I don't know. Maybe. I took it as the pastry. Is it a pastry? Confectionery?
It's not a pastry. It's a cake.
I don't like that you looked at me like I'm an authority on the subject.
Certainly Bushey must know. That belly says he knows what a pastry is.
Tell me I'm wrong. You looked over like, well,
He was
tell me.
Well, anyway, happy Vanilla Cupcake Day.
It was like it was a life. It was a life. He was just waiting for the fucking lifeboat to be fucking sent out, going, please help me out here.
It's either
Going to a professional on the matter.
it's either about the piece of cake or it's about a guy that keeps taking his family on his goddamn work trips. Vanilla cupcake day. 'Cause he can't say no. Is that derogatory to a guy that can't say no?
No, I don't. I don't know. Possibly. Maybe.
I am definitely vanilla. That's all I'm
So, my musical choice for the night. It's this album just came out November 1st. We're at the 10th right now, so this is a brand new thing. But any of you guys fans of Trailer Park Boys?
Oh, yeah.
The show Trailer Park Boys?
I've seen it before. It's the guy with the big Coke glasses.
Yep.
or,
That's Bubbles. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Bubbles has a band on the show called Bubbles and the Shit Kickers.
Okay.
And they just released their best of anthology called Bubbles and the Shit Kickers Long Haulers. Okay. So this album just came out. Actually, here's what I love about the way music is and culture now, right? So if you have a band on a show like that, the fans of the show are fans of the music as well. They released this on a double vinyl deluxe edition vinyl album. So this is the best of Bubbles and the Shit Kickers from the album Long Hauler. This song is called Drinking with the Angels. It's a Canadian show, cult classic, by the way, if you're not a fan of Trailer Park Boys.
Stoker B, he never knew me, but he was a legend of the liquor. He would put a pint away just to start his day to hit the ribbon. Working at the mine, liquored up by 9, shooting off to all the other workers. He would sucker punch his boss, get back on the sauce by early evening. Drinking with the angels on the wings of a dove.
I know that's probably not as funny to people listening right now, but now he's drinking with the angels on the wings of a dove. It's about a guy dying who was a drunk.
Old Sally Lou had an elevator shoe where she could hide a pint of fancy liquor. She would sneak into the dance, drink and piss her pants. She was the real
Mr. Pants.
You're listening to Pop Culture Radio. We'll be right back.
Morning they decided to get married, so they jumped in Snooker's truck after they had fucked on an old box spring. And now she's drinking with the angels on the wings of a dove. She's drinking with the angels up in heaven above. Swinging from the bottle while he pinned the fucking throttle there. Well, the word on the street I heard somebody say is you had a real shit and turd of a day. So I looked in my pocket and guess what I found? 10 digits just waiting there to take you to town. I got a 5-finger discount coming your way. I'm a fingerball wizard, I just give it away. You looking for some family work? Well, don't be alarmed. I got the friggin' tools on the end of my arm. If you're feeling low, I'll put my peanut in your jelly. No one's got your back, but who's got your belly on? Well, people got well.
Welcome back to Pop Culture Radio. That is Bubbles and the Shit Kickers with Who's Got Your Belly, which was funny because he's talking about fucking.
Well, no. He does that to his kitties. Who's got your belly?
Yeah.
Who's got your belly?
So, funny also, a little tidbit about this song. That lead guitar you hear, that's Alex Lifeson from Rush. Yeah. They're Canadian as well.
Wow, that's cool.
Who's got your belly on?
That show still on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is it? Are they still making episodes?
They're doing more so not episodes anymore, but they're doing like hour-long specials that come out like 2 or 3 times a year.
I was going to say, I thought the episodic show did end.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah, it's
That's a high
fucking
score.
hilarious. Yeah.
And it's one of those shows that the first season or two, it really had like no money behind it. It really is
Very-
just like
yeah.
some people with some camcorders making a show. And
Holy
they're just
shit.
and they're just funny enough it took off.
2001 to 2018. That's a long run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you look at now on IMDb, like all the actors who are in that show, they're doing these like I can't remember which streaming service. I think it's Netflix that it's on now. But it's like they put out the Trailer Park Boys movie, and I think that was 2017. And then what they've been doing is instead of doing the episodic shows, just every like year or so they're releasing another like hour-long movie.
That's cool.
So yeah, they're still putting content out, but it's not in the episodic format that it was in the beginning.
Well, and I know they also tour and do
Yes.
like shows. So.
They were just at the Plaza in Orlando here not too long ago. I want to say less than a year ago.
Yeah, no, they stay busy.
Yeah.
Speaking of TV shows, Yellowstone is back. I don't know how many people have been waiting for that. I know they started advertising that the wait was over half a year ago. And
Yeah.
tonight, I think, is finally the night. Your wait is finally over after half a year.
Yeah, I think we actually teased that last year.
Speaking of things that I've been waiting for to come back on TV, this one is a big deal to me. It's this Tuesday. You got my soundboard up?
I do.
Let's see. I hope
The
they...
idea of buried treasure is captivating.
Godzilla?
If we find it, it will change history as we know it.
They're digging. That's what all the noise is. Treasure.
Oh, this is
Changing history forever. Return to Oak Island.
Oak Island. New season, Tuesday, November 12th at 9.
This
only on the
Tuesday.
History Channel.
My nipples are hard. I cannot wait for them to find treasures. These two brothers, they've been
Okay.
digging here for over a decade.
Here's what I'll say.
Yes.
Of all the laughing and the poking we've done about the whole Skinwalker one,
Yes.
this one's a little different because they're finding minerals in the water. We know something's there.
Oh, yeah.
The problem
Something
is it's
big.
been there hundreds of years, and these two fucking jackwads got to go down there and find it.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's not easy to find when something's been buried for 400 years.
No, but what
But eventually.
they've dude. I'm not saying.
Yeah,
but
they're finding gold in the water, so we know there's shit down there.
I'm
but-
not saying I'm psychic or anything, but I remember like 5 seasons in, they had this little memorial to everybody that died. It was a collapsed shaft, and it was filled with water, and they had nice like flowers around it and shit.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I bet it'd be great if that collapsed shaft, they were like right on target from the fucking very beginning.
Yeah.
Sure as fuck, that's what they found out.
Oh,
Like,
really?
So in the last 2 or 3 years, they have built a reinforced shaft that goes all the way down there, like state of the art, reinforced, blah blah blah. So they've been able to go down there, and they found workings. And it's been slow going because in Canada, I guess they follow rules and stuff, and so they have to make the job site safe per people. But the legend says one more person has got to die before the treasure will ever be found. So I'm like saying, Canada, relax your fucking rules, let them dig dangerously, have one of them die, find the fucking treasure. Boom.
In Canada, is it O'Shea?
Okay, yeah, probably.
And by the way, a collapsed shaft would also keep you from having this situation you're in happen anymore. If you get a collapsed shaft, then you won't have to have a fourth kid come along.
Yeah, a fourth kid doesn't happen.
Well, I was thinking it would be more likely if your shaft was reinforced that if it collapsed, it would kill somebody.
Yeah, that's
more
true.
weight to
A
it.
reinforced shaft could be dangerous.
All I
Yeah.
know is if Brittany gets pregnant again, I think she might kill somebody. I mean, the poor girl has been pregnant for like 2 years now straight, and I'm sick of it, quite honestly. I'm going, stop being pregnant, have your baby. I mean, our baby. Let's just get this over with. Dude. 3 years ago, I'm never gonna have a family. I wish I have a family. I'm done. I got my family. We went on trips. I'm snipping my balls. I love you. Oh, I love
I need
you all.
to go back and find the audio from those first. I mean, not find it. Anyone can find it. It's on every streaming platform. But if you go back to like season 1, episode like 1, 2, 3, 4, like all through that season. I can hear you fucking crying about this shit. I want you to hear old Owen.
I like the idea that for your New Year's resolution, you're like, I'm getting my ball sack cut and I'm flying everywhere.
Exactly. I am. I've had enough. No, I mean, let's be
Is
real.
there a flight to Winn-Dixie?
Let's be real. I'm taking them next time I go on a long trip, and I'm just a glutton for punishment, and I love it because I spent so much of my life saying, man, I wish I could have that frustration that guy's talking about. I wish I could be annoyed in the middle of the night changing a baby. And
I just made the connection. You're Clark Griswold.
am I?
You are Clark Griswold.
I might be.
You want it? Yeah.
I've already
Bushy.
started decorating for Christmas.
I don't know who that is.
What?
Chevy Chase from the Vacation series.
Oh, okay.
You always
I get it.
wanted to be the
Yeah.
perfect family vacation, the
Yo.
perfect family thing. You always just want the family to be there. Then when the family shows up, you're like, what the fuck is happening?
This is not how I mapped this out.
There's a guy emptying a chemical toilet into my fucking into my sewer.
I regret nothing. Except maybe a little bit of everything. I was playing around during the break with some AI songs. One of them is called Road Trip Regrets. Another one I have not previewed yet is called Chaos on the Road. Whenever I hear some of these, even if I don't select country, which one of them I did select country, and I'm sure you'll figure it out. I always hear your voice, Dirt. I don't know why. And like when I hear these AI songs, I picture you singing this to me.
Okay.
And
Naked.
Are you jerking off at the time?
I'm right here. I mean, I don't think you two would like it, but I mean, they can't see anything from.
He's doing no hands.
All right, I'm gonna play this one. This one starts off. Well, you'll hear it. Owen loads the truck, ready for the ride. Oh, sorry.
That is right. Drives those truck, ready for the ride. Mom's yelling at the kids, fighting inside. Dogs barking with the way God is treated. Roads look long, dark clouds rolling. Rebels packed tight, we're on the highway, regretting all the choices made today. Country skies cold, where peace is known. Baby, that them cement keys.
What was that word?
I don't know what that was.
It sounds like Bruce Springsteen to me.
Was it just me, or was he like?
He's frustrated. Give the man a break.
He just started having a stroke right in the middle of singing. Did he say wipe his beat to the radio's tune? What the? The idea of when someone beating his wife to the radio tune is fucked up.
One horse town, one while we didn't just settle down. Mom's fed up, mom's fed up.
Mom's fed up. Mama's fed up. He turned into Jim Carrey.
If I could, I would send this song to Springsteen and go do this song. First, meet my friend Owen. You got a whole album.
Mama's fed up.
Rest those dreams on a quiet caress. Country skies call where peace is known. Next time I think twice for the keys, yeah.
Also, what the fuck is a country sky?
I don't know. According to the lyrics, the AI guy was supposed to sing country
It's
skies.
like a normal sky, but it hates black people.
Country skies call when peace is known. Maybe next trip he'll just fly alone. That's what he was supposed to say. Owen should have flown, left the car alone, kids scrapping in the back, mama's on the phone, dogs chewing through the wall, rental gets trashed. Next time he'll think twice before the keys get grabbed. You know,
That's a great lyric, though. I mean,
except for the AI stroke victim singing the song.
Dude, it was so funny when he started trying to do like a run.
Yeah.
Mama's fed up.
All right, one more, and then we'll put this to bed. This one I haven't even. I expected that one to be a little goofy because I heard that one. This one, not a country song.
What's funny is I feel like that's going to be stuck in my head. Mama's fed up.
Mama's fed up.
You know what's funny is everything I love about Bruce Springsteen is in that song, but also everything I hate about Bruce Springsteen is in that song.
All right, this one's only 2 minutes, so bear with me. I don't like this one at all.
Hold up, it might drop.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that one. I take your 10 seconds back.
Like the notes were off.
Yeah.
It felt like that song from the Terror of the Android.
Yeah. This one I didn't get a tweak. I just typed some things in and said, fucking create another one that's not country. And that's what it gave me. But
Mama's fed up.
But they're like,
Mama's
and the whole,
fed up.
that's the problem is you said not country, and the AI is going, we heard the story, bro. This is a country song. They're like, you're really forcing our hand here.
Just because the content, it can't do a different
They're like, you said wife and dogs and kids. Like, this is a country song, man.
Truck, country sky.
Owen should have flown. All right. Couple things.
If you had just said,
Why does your laptop have a camo hat on now?
We weren't there that long. No, we were. Dude,
if you just said the song was I left my kids and my wife at home, it would have been a rap song.
I might have to do that at the break. Well, speaking. Well, I guess we were. He's not a rapper, but he lived the rapper life. One of the programs on TV right now, which is about to come to the final episode.
Final episode's Tuesday, yeah.
The Aaron Hernandez story, right?
Yeah, American Sports Story.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of them yet. I mean, I know the story. I've seen specials on it before. What's so different about this one?
So, number one, and you know, I know people are kind of polarized by this person, but Ryan Murphy is involved. Ryan Murphy's the guy who created American Horror Story.
Okay.
And,
all right.
And so because of the success of that, he's branched out into some things. Most notably, the Feud series, where season 1 of Feud was Joan Crawford versus Betty Davis, and it was about this well-known, publicized feud between the two of them in Hollywood. And then the second season was Capote versus the Swans. Truman Capote, the Swans were the socialites in New York that he hung out with. Then he wrote a book exposing, or basically not using their names, but they all knew it was about them. And it was exposing all the petty bullshit that was going on with these socialites in New York City.
Okay.
And this one, he also did American Crime Story, which I think he did about O.J. Simpson, and then he did one about the Bill Clinton. It was impeachment. Bill Clinton and Paula Jones.
Okay.
All that stuff that happened. So this one is about Aaron Hernandez. It's called American Sports Story. And what I think is... to me, different. I know the story. I followed it when it came out. Not saying I followed it. Like, I didn't watch all the interviews and read all of the story, but I knew what happened. And there's some Florida tie to it because he played for the Gators in Gainesville, and that's kind of where all this stuff started.
Yeah.
But to me, what was interesting about it was he knew. So when he passed away, not a spoiler to anyone who followed the news.
When he killed himself.
They examined his body, and he had the worst case of CTE they had ever seen before. And he was only in his 3rd season of the NFL when he got arrested, right? Well, this tells the story from the beginning when he was a kid. He grew up in Bristol, Connecticut. Half Puerto Rican, half Italian. His father was the matriarch of the family. Had this kid from the time he was a kid. You're special. His dad played for UConn. His brother was a quarterback for UConn. You're going to play for UConn. Well, his dad died of a heart attack before he finished his senior year, so that's why he decided, fuck UConn. I'm going to Florida, to University of Florida. And
that's the difference between a regular brain and a CTE brain. Like all the gaps and stuff.
Crazy, man. Well, his father was highly abusive. His father beat the shit out of him his whole childhood. He was in a relationship with another man in high school.
Aaron Hernandez was?
Yeah, and then in college. This is all well known before this series, but he was gay and he was bisexual. His father used to call him the F word for gay people and beat the shit out of him in front of all the kids in the neighborhood. Like, this guy, by the time he was in high school, he'd already had 6 concussions. Then he gets into college and gets another 3 or 4. Then he gets into the pros, and there's even like well documented situations where the Patriots are in a playoff run. He gets injured, and they tell him, "Hey, listen, you're injured now, but you need to be hurt by week 6." You know what I mean? Like, so he was playing hurt. He was in pain all the time. But when they were saying, how could he only play 3 seasons and have this level of CTE, it's because he was abused as a child heavily.
Wow.
And this series tells that story about how fucked up this dude's life was. I don't forgive him for the shit he did, because he killed people who innocent people. But holy shit, man, how can you treat a human being this way?
Yeah,
you know?
Let alone a fucking child.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, having a 4.5-year-old who like thinks he's 20 and doesn't want to listen to anybody and does whatever the fuck he wants to do half the time, I can understand the frustration and almost like, you know, wanting to wring your hands, but you don't wring the kid's neck. You don't slap the kid. You yell at him, and you hope you don't fuck him up. You know. But I can't imagine like what you're saying. You know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I look at the boy and he says some certain things, and I think, man, you might be playing on the other team, and then that's fine. I can't wait to see your boyfriend, I guess. But nothing.
That's what's funny to me is my mom used to always say, and she's like, "Why don't you guys have any gay friends? I need someone to go shopping with me." And I'm like, and that's the funny thing to me is like when people, it used to be like fathers like, "Oh man, I hope my son's not gay." Now it's like, man, if my son's gay, I'm never gonna have to pick something up for the anniversary ever again. Like,
dude,
like, hey, help me pick something up for your mom. Like, it's like, you know, use our fucking strengths, not our weaknesses.
Yeah. He'll run into the closet with me when I'm getting ready or dressed, and he'll start picking out clothes for me. And I'm like, man,
There
that's
you go,
pretty
man.
cool, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, just when you think of the innocence of a child, and sure, they frustrate you. They're frustrating. That's what they're supposed to do. If you're not frustrated, then you probably don't really care.
I like the idea that you're in the closet, he's picking out clothes for you. He picks out this totally mismatched outfit, and you're like, well, he's gay. He must know what he's doing. Like, I'm wearing it anyway. I don't get it, but
he did. He actually,
he's the authority. He knows what he's doing.
You're making a joke, but actually he did do that one time. He picked like some shorts and a shirt that totally didn't go together and some shoes. And I said, you know what? I'm wearing it anyway. And
got compliments all day.
No, people looked at me weird, but we just went to a couple
he's
stores.
not gay then.
Not related to this at all, but another comedian friend of mine, Corinne McWithy, who I don't think she's performing anymore, but Corinne, when she's fucking hysterical and a certified lunatic like the rest of us. Mm-hmm. When her daughter was young, her daughter Evelyn, she used to purposely dress her daughter in mismatched outfits with like one rain boot and one flip flop on, and then take her out grocery shopping. And then when people were like, "Oh, look at your outfit," and she would go, she wanted to dress herself.
That's funny. But all right, so Aaron Hernandez. Any other than his childhood, which kind of was already known, but not well. Anything else in here that's mind-boggling or groundbreaking?
I just think all in general, like the story that you kind of get out of this series, and
is
again,
it making you feel sorry for him?
Yeah, totally. But here's the thing, not in a way that like I don't feel like he deserved to be punished. I absolutely believe that
he deserved to be punished.
He deserved to be where he was at. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, you can feel bad for somebody and still not condone the things
exactly,
they did.
Exactly, and that's how I kind of feel about it. But
wasn't there like some kind of shootout, and then he hid the vehicle at his family's member's house for a while?
Yep, and what's crazy about that? All that goes back to whenever somebody called his manhood into question, it tripped this circuit in his brain, and all he could hear was his dad.
Yeah, I would.
And so that's where all of this stuff sort of stems from.
I could totally understand
that whole the way he was brought up, and it was like don't bring shame onto the family name. If you're a that word, you're shaming the family. And all of this sort of stuff. And so it's kind of
that makes sense. You know, his father beating him down for being gay, and then he becomes the manliest man by being on a Super Bowl winning team.
His cousin said, well, he never won a Super Bowl, but he was on a team that if he had lasted a couple more seasons, he would have. And also at the time, he was a star. He was a star on that team. That team had Gronk and Aaron Hernandez, both tight ends, on the same team. You could not stop that offense.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy to think about that. But his cousin tells a story about how one time the kids in the neighborhood, just to be funny, they were playing pickup football in the street, and him and a couple of the kids who were sitting out a game to play the next game thought it was funny to get pom-poms and be cheerleaders on the sideline for the other team that was going on. And the cousin said he was having the time of his life. They were all just being funny and playing cheerleaders, and his dad came out and grabbed him, called him that word, and beat the shit out of him, dragged him in the house, and wouldn't let him play football because he was being a F word for gay people in front of the whole neighborhood. Like, that's the kind of life this guy grew up with. Like, it's crazy when you see it, but it's like...
But if that's all he knows how to deal with something he doesn't like, that's what you're going to do.
Right.
I worry about that so much because, we're having, like, kind of discussion, like, the boy's kind of acting out when he goes to school a little bit and biting and pushing girls and stuff. So I've had to talk to him, like, we don't push girls. We don't bite anybody,
I was about to say, the biting one's pretty bad.
Yeah. And I said, we don't even, like, never put hands on girls, Anyway, just walk away. And we're kind of like, do you spank them? Do we just keep putting them in the corner?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to work, or hell, do we put them in a fucking closet until you start acting right?
Yeah.
And I'm worried. He's like, it's been brought up. Do you spank him or not? And I'm like, I don't want him to think that hitting is the way to deal with a problem.
Right.
However, sometimes he's totally out of control, and the only way she gets control of him is she pops him on the fucking ass.
I will say this. So I got spanked and all that stuff, and with a belt, and the spanking never really deterred me from much. It was when things that I valued were taken away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the problem.
You lose your CD player, you lose your video, you lose your tablet. You know what I mean?
That's the problem. He doesn't value anything because he was spoiled by his well, I wasn't going to say who he spoiled, but they just showered him and drowned him in, like, garage sale finds.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing that he has he really loves, nothing he has he really likes, and if it breaks, it was trash anyway. And it's just...
And there's something else coming right behind
exactly.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
It's been slowed down a little bit. We've been having an issue, but... And explain to people, but the point is, like, it's hard to figure out how to discipline, but you don't beat the shit out of a kid. You don't embarrass him in front of his kids like that.
I think embarrassing a kid in front of other kids is like a permanent fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
It is, definitely.
I dealt with it quite a bit. I don't know if I ever told the story, but like the first time I ever decided to do something like rebellious. Was like there was an 8th grade assembly, and my friend, I had a friend that had cool parents, and she was going to have a party instead. So I went to the party. Well, I don't know if my mom found out I went to a party or if she found out that I wasn't at the assembly or something, but apparently she went to the school, got up on stage in front of the entire auditorium and was saying, "Does anybody know where Daniel Bushey is?" In front of it. So if you think that didn't fucking follow me around,
Oh man,
that's horrible.
that was a rough one.
Yeah, up in front of everybody.
Yeah,
you could have played that off.
And then when she found the party and everything, like drugged me right out of the party in front of everybody.
Oh man.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing is, like,
I would take not to interrupt. I would take a beating over that experience any day. Beat the shit out of me over that.
I never had I never got I mean, I struggle to remember a single instance where, like, I really got fucking whooped as a kid. And I think a lot of that was because, and don't get me wrong, I was a fucking asshole. Like, I did some dumb shit. But the thing about it was just the whole idea of my mom saying, "Well, wait till your dad gets home." I was like, "Oh, holy shit! I better go read my Bible." Like, you know what I mean?
Make my peace with God.
Yeah, it was like, and it wasn't because my dad ever was physically anything like that. It's just because just the whole idea, he had the presence of fuck around and find out. You know what I mean? And so, and even like to this day, like I watch him in his work. And he just commands respect just by being who he is. Yeah. And I think that's what it was, is that level of respect that he commands as a person through everything he did, through work and all that other stuff. It's always what I saw. And I'm like, I don't want to be on that guy's bad side. You know?
I've got a great take on that.
Yeah.
Because I would get the wait until your father gets home. But ready for this? My dad was a long haul trucker.
It'd be 3 days later.
No. 1 to 3 months.
Oh my God.
And there would be, multiple different things over that 1 to 3 months. So by the time my dad got home, they were stacked up waiting until your dad gets home.
Jeez.
By the time he got home, they've already called in last rites. The preacher's at the house.
I'm already 18, but he is back.
No.
All the townspeople have been building the gallows.
I got whooped a lot too, and I just remembered if they would just talk to me and told me like what's making them upset and why I'm getting in trouble. Because my grandfather never told me shit. I just remembered I'd probably change a little bit, and then that's what I try to do with them. I'm trying to talk to him, but talking doesn't seem to work. With this kid,
I realize the older I get, the less I understand how to talk to kids. You know what I mean? It was like I don't because it's weird. It's one of those weird things, and I don't think it's anything you can understand until you get to that point.
Until you have one. Yep.
But it's like as I get older, I realize like how much easier everything in the world would be if we were just a little bit cooler to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I try to express that to a fucking child, they don't get it. They don't know. They're like,
no.
you have to have some miles under your skin and get fucked over enough to realize, like, hey, if we just treat each other a little bit nicer, maybe,
Well, hold on. They got in the middle of my breakdown on the way home where I'm sweating. I have this migraine. I'm about to like fucking puke, and I'm like telling the boy who's on my right because I'm trying to lay down to stop talking because his little screechy voice just like is like a dagger in my ear, and the baby's crying and I'm hot and I'm sweaty, and he pats me on the back. He says, "I know it's hard. Just breathe."
Oh.
So
that's great.
That's better than the deer story.
They know a lot more than I ever thought they did. And,
Yeah.
And before I ever had kids,
I'll put you out a nice outfit when we get home.
You're going to look great in those brown shoes.
dude.
Brings your bathrobe.
It was so cute. Like I took my shirt off in the car. Well, that part wasn't. But I took my shirt off in the car to cool off, and he looks at me. He goes, "I'll take mine off too." He took his shirt off just because I had mine off.
It's a show of solidarity.
Yeah, exactly. It was
That's
cool.
awesome.
So I mean, the best
Nipple
part of
brothers.
Nipple brothers.
But yeah, he likes to look at me in my belly, and he goes, "You're fat." I go, "I know." He goes, "I don't want to get fat like you." I'm like, "Well, fucking keep not eating like you do." That's another problem. He'll come out at 5 o'clock this morning. "I'm hungry." I'm like, "All right." So I wake everybody up. We go to Denny's because I'm like, we're back home. I'm so fucking happy. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't care if you're pregnant. Get the fuck up. We're going to Denny's. And he's so hungry. We get there. I get him a nice little fucking plate of potatoes and some of the best potatoes and bacon. He looks at it and he goes, "I'm not hungry." Oh. But I love him. I love him so much.
How do you just get not hungry, though? Like, once I'm hungry, I'm fucking hungry.
Dude, once I figure that out, I'm going to look like fucking Zac Efron.
Dude, and I know that motherfucker's eating because he didn't flush the toilet before I came over here today, and I was impressed with the fucking J he put in there. It was pretty fucking big. And then I looked
Why is
at
he flushing his weed?
No, his turd was a big J.
Oh.
So it was like he's spelling out Jesus in there. But I looked, I go, "Where's the fucking toilet paper, kid? And why didn't you flush?" So I go find him. I
He
go,
pre-wiped.
"Why didn't you wipe your ass?" And he goes, "There's no poop on it." And I go, "How do you know? How do you know? Go wipe your butt." Anyway, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, we got a Christy Martin deal to talk about. Christy Martin, the boxer.
Yeah.
You want me to play this little so people know who we're going to be talking about real quick? And then
We can play when we come back because there's a whole story about it. But
Christy Martin, I'll just tell people she's a boxer and she's a personal friend of the Dirt McCoy across from me. So.
And I mean, literally, her gym, where a lot of this story took place, is like a 10-minute drive from here right now. I mean, 10 minutes, maybe a mile and a half. Like, she's part of this community, so yeah, it's a big deal.
Really?
Yeah,
She's that close. Wow. Does
right
she live in
over Railroad
Graceland?
Ave, man. Huh?
Pine Hills, Graceland?
No.
That'd be cool. I want to find out who that is.
I delivered pizza there.
She should have a house like that. That would be dope.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so here we go. Picking another one. The title of this song reminds me, I think there's Bushey and Owen ties. But this is, again, Bubbles and the Shit Rockers. The title of the song is "Home is Where Your Shed Is."
My first shed, well, she was sound. Cherokee fucked the wiring and burned her down. That's what you get when your best friends are high all the time. My new shed, she's got indoor plumbing. And hear that sound, that's my heat pump humming. Got 96 kitties, but we're not slumming. So listen up, buddy, I'ma tell you something. Living in my shed is my wish. 246 channel satellite dish. Be good to your neighbor, so do me a favor and grab some beers in the fridge. It's right there in the corner where my double-decker bunk beds live. Kitties, liquor, and dough. Home is where you should live.
You're listening to Pop Culture Radio. We'll be right back.
Woo!
Well, some people live in big fancy houses with mortgages and debt up in the 100,000s. I prefer a tiny place that keeps me grounded. My favorite place to drink and get fucking pounded. Kitties are so nice. Kitties are so nice. Get them down, spin them round, tickle their bellies twice. Kitties, kitties, kitties are so nice.
They certainly don't chew their way through walls.
This is Kitties Are So Nice by Bubbles and the Shit Rockers from the new album Long Hauler.
At first, I thought he said titties are so nice, and I'm like, yeah, I'm into this. And then he's like, you can rub their bellies, and I'm like, no.
Yeah. It was close though. I mean,
12 seasons.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
That's crazy. There's another show celebrating its birthday today.
what's that?
It first aired in 1969.
Hey.
It is still on the air. 54 seasons strong. Going to have its 55th.
Oh, it's got to be like Young and the Restless or General Hospital.
Maybe for kids.
Oh, Sesame Street.
Sesame Street, exactly.
Okay.
It premiered on November 10th, 1969.
Oh, wow.
And it's been strong ever since. And just recently, I've been watching it. I want some like educational stuff rather than like Spider-Man and shit like that playing on the TV. And it is a different world in Sesame Street now than it was when we were growing up.
I was going to say, is it educational? Like, I haven't watched it since I
Yeah,
was a
dude.
kid. But...
I remember the days where they'd have the aliens on both sides, and they come along. One says like,
Meow,
butt,
meow,
and
meow,
one
meow.
says plug, and then butt and plug, butt plug.
I don't remember that episode.
My memory is a little sketchy, but nowadays they have like cooking shows where they do international cooking. It's called Cookie Monster now cooks. So instead of I'm cookie, I'm eating fat stuff. Now he's Cookie Monster. He's cooking, I think, is the angle they're going
See
to.
that, and that's awesome. Like, honestly, if you think about the Sesame Street we watched, it was marketed as educational,
But it wasn't.
but I don't think going cookie, or even the count.
Come on,
like,
it was brought to you by the letter C at least.
right? I mean, we learned to count to 10, and we knew one letter a day.
Yes.
Like,
So,
But now Cookie Monster, and there's this new Muppet, or I don't know what they're called, puppet.
they're Muppets.
They're
It's a
Muppets.
Jim Henson thing.
All right. Named Gonger. So it's Cookie Monster and Gonger, and when they get together, they have their little cooking show, and they cook stuff like international stuff, like hot tamales. I guess that's not really international, but
Yeah.
they say stuff that I don't understand, and then oh, Cookie Monster, we don't have the beans for this whatever we're cooking. So then they go to the farm that's actually cooks the beans, and the farmer shows you how he gets the beans, and then he goes, here you go, Cookie Monster and Gonger, here's your beans. So that they get all the ingredients, and they whip it together, and they make some kind of like ethnic awesome meal. And I'm like, I wish they would have taught me how to fucking cook a grilled cheese or something when I was a kid. I mean, I just fucking drank Coke and ate candy, nonstop.
I mean, you just explained the last 3 times I tripped.
Muppets are cooking for you.
Yeah, Cookie Monster and Gonger. We go to the bean farm. I was like, this is creepy. I was pretty sure I was alone, but bean farm. Are you Gonger?
Gonger was just a small Asian one that just wanted to restock the shelves. Couldn't understand why you were having this conversation with her.
Have I ever told you you're my Gonger?
I actually, because I can't understand kids half the time on there when they're thinking Cookie Monster and Gonger. I had to look him up to see how you said his name. It's actually Gonger, Gonger. But let me, Cookie Monster.
Well, are you sure it's not Gonga? Because you don't want to.
No, it's ER.
You don't
Gonger.
get the R's wrong.
Hold
You don't want to go hard on
Let
the
me play
R.
it. Gonga.
Gonga.
Hold on, let me play this. Cookie Monster and Gongos make tacos.
Do you like food? You like food? Gonger make food.
That's the voice of education right there.
I was just saying, Sesame Street's gone harder on the beats, though.
Look, they drive around in a food truck. Anyway, all right, now they're going to get their assignment, and then they got to figure it out. But that Cookie Monster and Gonger right there, wonderful show, Sesame Street. I'm learning more now than I ever did when I was
Here's
a kid.
a fun tidbit about, and tidbit is going to be a relative word you're going to think back to in a second here, about Sesame Street. So this was back in 2010, I want to say. Katy Perry was a celebrity guest on Sesame Street, and she wore a top that was a little bit too low cut, and it became a problem, and they actually took the show off of the streaming services and stuff. And her at the time, she was married to Russell Brand, and he made it even worse because he tweeted out, "This episode of Sesame Street brought to you by the number 34 and the letter D."
You want to see that? Hold on.
Oh, did you find it?
It's not that bad, but this is it. I mean, maybe a little risky for the kids.
Katy Perry's fucking hot, so when you put her in a dress like this,
and then have her running around a puppet.
Yeah.
If she's into that puppet, she'd be into me, right? That's kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how I think? Not the kids. All I know is I want some milk. Milk to wash down this
I was
cookie.
going to say, she's attractive enough. She could have even been wearing something less revealing, and it still would have been maybe a little too sexual.
A little bit too erotic for children.
But all right.
What are those?
Let's get off of Sesame Street and let's talk about a close personal friend of yours.
Yeah, I know. And listen, I think there's probably a whole lot of people in this world who would call themselves close personal friends of.
I don't care about
her.
them. I care about you.
But
well, that sounded weird.
I know her. I've had interactions with her for years, and I wouldn't say she's a friend of mine, but she's definitely somebody who, when I send a text or
she taught you how to box, right?
Yes.
She's a friend of yours.
Yes.
Yeah. She's punched you, right?
No.
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 You didn't spar with her?
No.
No.
No. God, no. No. That
Usually
was
when you're training for boxing, you don't fight the opposite.
Well,
sex
not only
I'm
that,
aware
but
of.
listen, at the time I was going to that gym, she was still competing. So
Oh,
you don't.
okay.
Yeah. So, but I will say this: just so everyone, we're talking about Christy Martin.
Yeah, Christy Martin,
the greatest female boxer of all time. Fuck you if you don't agree with me. Sorry, but
well, hold
when
on.
she would spar for a fight, she would spar against the men in the gym that were 3 weight classes above her.
Yeah,
like
I stand corrected.
You're talking about like she was a tough fucking. She still is a tough ass fucking person.
Yeah. Let me play this. If you're not familiar with her, this should get you up to date.
I'm a fighter, and that's what I do. That's all I know how to do is fight.
And survive.
June 4th, 2011, the Staples Center in Los Angeles. the final step in boxer Christy Martin's improbable comeback.
When I was walking into the ring, that moment, I think I came into my mind about just how much I had overcome and how far I had been able to come since everything had happened.
Everything.
Known as the coal miner's daughter, introducing Christy Martin.
Woo. When women's boxing first grabbed the nation's attention in the mid-1990s, Christy Martin was its breakout star. She talked trash.
I did buy an extra pair of running shoes because I figure I'm going to need them chasing your ass down.
She fought in press conferences. In March of 1996, she became an overnight sensation when she fought on the undercard of a Mike Tyson fight.
That's a big deal, right?
Was a war.
Yeah, he had her on a lot of his fights.
And won the decision. Just remember leaving the arena and like some reporters coming up to me saying, "Do you realize what you just did? You basically just rocked the world." Everybody now knows about Christy Martin.
Women didn't have fights like that back then. Like all of her fights, she would fight like toe to toe. She would have her nose bloodied. She would be beat up. And she would go to war. Mm-hmm. And women's boxing did not have that image in the world at that time. Like, she would go in and have one-punch knockouts. That was not heard of. Women's boxing was a sideshow act to men's boxing until she came along.
Now that clip that I played you, it mentioned that she came back in 2011.
Yes.
And after everything that happens, but it doesn't mention what happened. And that is the story that's, what is there something coming out, or...
No. Well, the movie is okay. So they're making a movie about her life. I'll get into the details of that in a minute because that's another part that like I got a little bit of a goosebump about it when I heard what was going on because anybody could make a movie about you, but then when you see who's involved in the movie, that's when you go, "Oh, holy fuck! This is a Hollywood thing. Like they're dumping the money into this." Yeah. But that fight they were talking about, her comeback. That fight was a questionable. So she was just trying to get her 50th professional win. And in that fight, I just remember being so fucking pissed off because she was on the attack, going for a finish. Her opponent got into a corner, kind of turned. Christy stepped back and turned her back to walk away, and the referee called the fight because she turned her back and stopped the fight. And you're not supposed to do that. And so she got robbed of her 50th win, basically. Wow. But for anyone who knows the whole story, so Christy Martin she was the one who put women's boxing on the map. Yeah. So in 2010... November
23rd, we're coming up to the anniversary of it, 14 years ago.
She was trained by her husband, Jim Martin, for years. He was always the guy who sort of ran everything, and Christy was the show pony in his world. And so she had made a decision. She wanted out of the relationship. She didn't want to be married to him anymore. She told him she was leaving. He stabbed her 3 times. He shot her twice. And still, she was able to subdue this motherfucker, run from their house, which is literally just off of the road right up the street from us.
Yeah, it says the
Sweetwater.
Attack occurred after an argument in their Apopka home.
Yeah.
Oh, and Sweetwater's like a fancy neighborhood.
Right off of Piedmont-Wekiva Road. Yep. You know where it's like the Palms and Sweetwater Estates? Mm-hmm. That's where they lived.
Randy grew up in Sweetwater. I hung out in that neighborhood forever. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to wonder if I didn't hang out in that neighborhood when this all went down.
You could have. And she ran all the way to the road, flagged someone down, and had them drive her to the hospital.
Yeah. So it says she was stabbed several times and was shot at least once in her torso.
Yeah.
And she still, knocked him the fuck out, or what happened?
Yeah, she still, well, I don't know to what extent, but yeah, she still, I've heard 2 stories. Either she wrestled him to the ground, or she incapacitated him, or he thought she was dead and went on with his business, and she just got up and ran out. Okay. It's one of those 2 things. But either way, she survived it. And she got out, and now he's serving 35-year sentence or something like 25. Yeah, he's going to be like 90 by the time.
He was 66 years old when this happened.
And what was she, like 40 or?
It doesn't say her. Yeah. Well, hold on. We can do the math. We know when she was born. Let me scroll back up here on Wikipedia. She was born in 1968. So 2010. So hold on. I got this, man.
Yeah.
So 30 years plus 68, 98 plus 2. What did I say? So that's 24.
She would have been 42.
42.
Yeah. And he
that's
was
what I meant.
66?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's going to be like 90 when he gets out, huh?
Yeah, he'll be 91.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. If he lives that long.
Right, exactly.
Hopefully he dies.
And what sucks about it, too, is like hindsight is always 20/20, but all of us who really were around her, whether it be in the gym or even at the radio station, because she was a fixture at the radio station with us up there with the Monsters and all of us, everybody always said, man, Christy is fucking great, but as soon as Jim walks into the room, the whole mood changes. Like, he affected the whole mood of everything so much. Like, looking back at it now, like, I could... It's almost like you wish, but what could you have done? I mean, that was her husband, that was her trainer, that was her business partner, that was her manager.
You don't go to somebody and
he
say...
He controlled her everything, you know?
Yeah, you don't go to somebody and say, hey, when your husband's around, you're weird. What's up? You know?
Kendrick Lamar made a song about him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who's going to say that, right? But here's the thing I love about Christy. So Christy's story obviously is inspirational and triumphant in everything she's done in her life. But during the pandemic... my wife had a really tough time with things, getting furloughed and just the whole weight of the pandemic and everything. And I introduced her to Christy Martin via YouTube and showed her some of Christy's story and all that. And she like instantly like this fucking switch turned on, and she was like, "Oh my God, this woman is amazing." So I texted Christy, and Christy was there for Heather the whole pandemic.
Wow.
Like, literally, Heather at one point texted Christy and she said, I want to have you sign my palm and get it tattooed on my palm. And she says, because every time I bring myself to leave the house and to do something that I haven't done before, when I feel awkward or feel uncomfortable, I can open up my palm and look at your name and know if Christy can do it, I can do it. And she said, and I know palm tattoos wear off, so maybe by the time that tattoo wears off, I won't need it anymore.
That's fucking awesome.
So, I mean, that's how much Christy is just such... She's an incredible human being. She's just such a good person. And
also a Terminator.
So this is why it was so cool to me. So I find out that they are making a Hollywood motion biopic about Christy Martin's life.
That's wow.
Which is a big deal, right? So
it sounds like not a Hallmark, but a Lifetime movie.
That's what you would think, right?
Yeah.
And so anytime I hear they're making a movie about somebody's life, I'm like, okay, Lifetime movie, movie of the week, TV movie. And then I found out who's playing her, and I'm like, motherfucker, she is going to be played by Sydney Sweeney.
Really?
Yes. Sydney fucking Sweeney, the it girl of Hollywood right now. The most sought-after actress in Hollywood, Sydney Sweeney, is playing Christy fucking Martin. That means this is a fucking... there is money behind. They are going to make this a Hollywood blockbuster movie to tell Christy's story. This is someone who grew up in Hollywood, or who grew up in Apopka here. Look up Sydney Sweeney as Christy Martin.
All right.
And when you see her on set as Christy, it's fucking great.
What else is Sydney Sweeney in? Like,
oh man, you're gonna know.
My imagination.
Hold on. when
dream.
I name off the Sydney Sweeney movies, I think you're gonna know a bunch of them. But okay.
Don't fight her, Brittany.
So
hi, Owen. This is Sydney Sweeney. I just wanted to say, I think you're handsome.
So she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino film. She played Snake. She was in Handmaid's Tale as Eden Spencer. She was in, let's see here.
What Tarantino movie did you say?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, the one I haven't seen.
Yeah, she played Snake, which is one of Manson's family.
Yeah, one of the killers.
I'm actually really behind.
She played Olivia in White Lotus. Olivia Mossbacher. I don't know if you've watched that show, White Lotus, which also critically acclaimed, Golden Globe winner. Anyone But You. She plays Bia. She's hosted Saturday Night Live.
It's definitely
that's one of those things when you're like, when someone's like, "Oh, but I mean, really?" I'm like, "No, she's hosted Saturday Night Live. That's like how big of a deal she is."
No, it's definitely a me problem, not a her problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Uncle Buck
Yeah.
a couple days ago,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be real, doesn't hold up.
No,
Really?
It really doesn't. As a matter of fact, as I was watching it, I'm like, I really wish I wouldn't have watched this because it kind of. I still like John Candy, but it kind of like I'm watching it and I'm like, this could have just been any fat dude. Like, he didn't. It wasn't.
It's funny because that's the movie that makes me miss John Candy the most.
Uncle Buck?
Uncle Buck.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sorry that I don't want to like.
No,
shit
no,
on it,
no,
but
you're not. Yeah, you're not.
I definitely
I don't give a fuck what you think.
running.
It didn't age well because a lot of the content.
No,
is
yeah.
odd now. Like when you look at it, it's like, well, that's weird.
Well,
like,
so that's one of the
not
things you have
positive.
to do with the 80s and 90s movies, in my opinion, is you have to immediately cut out like all of the like time related bullshit.
Right, no, and I don't
because I think those movies like
And
all of them.
here's the thing, and I usually don't have trouble with it, but it's almost like the entire movie. You'd have to like ignore the entire movie.
You're
The
like,
entire
watch
movie
this, watch
was
this fat guy do funny shit.
Yeah, well, but it was like one big stereotype about the guy doing really invasive things in these kids' lives. That are going to cause
Being
them
a really
permanent
shitty influence.
mental trauma. But the whole point of the movie is you're supposed to champion this guy for doing these things. That you know. So anyway, but even taking that away. It just I didn't feel like he acted as well as I remember.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I really had a love for that movie.
Well, Canadian Bacon is by far the swan song for him. I mean, that was his final movie.
Well,
when you
wasn't
watch
there one-
Canadian Bacon, that's Wagons West.
Wagons
Yeah.
Wagons West was good. And wasn't there one where he was like a Russian spy type person? Or
I thought that was Canadian Bacon.
Is that okay? Then
Yeah.
that was a good one too.
But I mean, Great Outdoors. I mean, best line of his whole career. We're closed, folks. Moose out of front should have told you.
Yeah, I'll tell
For
you what.
vacation.
You know what? Yet it might be nostalgia, but I watched Harry and the Hendersons again recently
Oh, yeah.
for the first time in like 15, 20 years. Not only held up, I think I might even like it now more as an adult. Like,
John Lithgow is so good in that movie.
And the makeup and costuming is better
Yeah.
than movies that are out today.
Oh yeah.
So
But so funny thing.
Oh, you're right. And when you're right, you're right. And you're always right.
Yeah, that's for you. You know who that was, right?
No.
That was John Candy.
Oh, okay.
So, really quick before I get completely off the topic of that.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that I think is kind of cool about this whole story. So when it comes to any kind of sports, you have somebody who takes that sport and brings it to the masses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So last night was the crowning of the 2024 Winston, or they don't call it Winston Cup anymore.
No, smoking.
NASCAR champion, which was Justin Allgaier, who is a guy who's 39 years old. He's been in NASCAR for 20 years. Dale Earnhardt Jr. signed him this year, put him on his team. Well, for the last couple of years, put him on his team. He finally won his first championship. It was super emotional. It was the guy who a sport run by the young 20-some bucks coming up, and he won it.
Wow.
But that sport was made mainstream and brought to life by Dale Earnhardt. Basketball. You had basketball that was popular, and you had guys like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson who were fun to watch, but then Michael Jordan brought it to life, right? Christy Martin is that person for women's boxing. We wouldn't have Clarissa Shields now had we not had Christy Martin 30 years ago. You know, that's the caliber of person she is in the sport. So when you hear the story that she's had and the life, and you see her scars, like they said stabbed 3 times, one of the stabs is he cut her left calf off of the bone. Like the scar is a U under her calf. He literally stabbed her and cut her like a butcher and cut the fucking calf off of her leg.
How would he? Why? Like, what's the angle where like?
He was trying to make it so she couldn't run away. Oh. So he cut her calf so she couldn't run away. That's why when they tried
What
to
a
make
sicko,
they
man.
tried to make this defense in court like he was the fucking victim here, and I'm like, you're not the victim if you actually are butchering this person to make it so they can't run away from you. Like he literally did that to say you're never leaving me. Like you know, and to have that happen and
I would pass out.
be the person she is today, like an unapologetic badass fucking bitch who doesn't take no shit from nobody.
Yeah.
Like that's who Christy Martin is, and I think that's what's so cool is to see now that somebody who's like when you watch and look online at Sydney Sweeney and how much she is like literally the it girl in Hollywood. She's gonna play you in the movie about your life. And you don't, motherfucker, you fucking did that shit.
You made it.
Yeah. You're getting your story told, and the it girl of Hollywood is playing you. And did you find the picture of her? Look up Sydney Sweeney as Christy Martin. There's already pictures from her on set.
Yeah, I did, but nothing actually came up like just that.
I mean, I know they're there, but in fact, I think I have one saved on my phone.
Or if I did see it, like it looked just like a normal picture to me.
There you go, right there. Look, that's Sydney.
Oh yeah, that didn't show up.
That's Sydney Sweeney, and that's Christy.
Wow, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. So like on set right now, like they're already shooting this.
Does she get to visit the set?
I think she's training her.
I'm pretty sure if they're making a movie about your life, you're allowed to be.
Yeah,
you're allowed to be there.
I think so.
I think she's training her to. So listen, this is I'm still trying to make things work. So next Friday night. Next week, instead of Saturday, we're doing the show on Friday night because Mike Tyson is fighting Logan Paul. We have Keon Papillon, the chosen one, is going to be calling in, and I talked to him this week. There's a chance he's going to be at the stadium where the fight's taking place.
Ooh,
and so he might be calling us. So Keon is 10-0-1 as a professional fighter right now. He's an up-and-coming boxer. His father was Roy Jones Jr.'s sparring partner. He's trained by his father and Roy Jones Jr. He's a monster in the sport. He's going to be, and we made friends with him way back in the day through Ballbusters, and Riddick Bowe is the one who actually gave us his phone number. So he's going to be calling in next week on Friday while we prep for this whole Tyson fight. But there's a chance. I'm trying to get Christy to call in as well, so maybe some of these questions we can ask her. But I'm pretty sure she's training Sydney Sweeney right now to box like her in the movie.
That's cool.
So
it says her total fights 59. She has 49 wins.
Yeah.
Wins by knockout 32.
Yeah.
She only lost 7 fights and she had 3 draws.
Yeah.
So she was trying to get that 50th win. She never got it.
Right.
What if before the Tyson fight, we have her come over here and fight you?
You want to hear? So I actually used her as an example this week. Somebody said Mike Tyson's not in any physical shape to be fighting right now, and which is absolutely 100% not true. But so Christy she had a fight lined up just before the pandemic where she was actually going to take another fight to try to get her 50th win, and she got disqualified because she had a seizure 6 years ago.
Damn.
So when people say, "Oh, you're not in condition," you have to pass such a rigorous physical fucking exam to get a boxing license these days that you cannot have anything like that in your. And what that thing on the plane? We had a fucking ulcer flare up. I could have an ulcer flare up. I've ate fucking habaneros today. Like that can happen. But that's how rigorous the exam is.
Okay.
That seizure she had 6 years ago, she cannot be licensed to box anymore, so she will never get her 50th fucking win.
No, I
professionally.
like. There was something we were watching and it said she got her 50th win in that
courtroom that night,
and I fucking get chills with that because how many people? I mean, how many people? Usually, you don't survive an attack like that, and to fucking come back and you get a revenge of some sort,
and to sit on the witness stand and look at your attacker and say, "You tried to kill me, motherfucker, and I'm still here."
That's crazy. I'm getting chills about that. But
I mean, I've had some bad injuries, and I can't imagine getting like your whole calf muscle cut off. Like,
oh yeah,
that's a different level.
Man,
how you said like she came to and got out of there to a neighbor? I mean, did she jump on one leg? Did she crawl?
Somehow
Jesus
she was
Christ.
able to. Somehow she was able to run. So if you know that neighborhood, and I know that Bushey and I definitely do. But
I just know the gates.
It's a good mile and a half to the road.
Yeah.
So she was able to run quite a distance. That is the scar from her calf.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I mean, like he literally, tried to sever the muscle from the bone.
Does she limp or anything now? Or?
No. I mean,
Really?
it was surgically repaired. Yeah.
She's
no.
a fucking Terminator. Like I said, you can't.
She will
bring
wreck
her down.
your shit. Yeah. And actually, Heather has a copy of that Sports Illustrated magazine on her bookshelf there. That's her corner. That's like her inspiration corner.
Wow.
And so it's like, she can pull out that magazine, and there's Christy. So
that's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
it's a cool thing, man. I'm pumped about it. I think it's going to be awesome that like somebody from this part of our world here has got a whole, their stories being told. So
somebody that's close to you.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
But that's pretty awesome. All right, before we wrap this up, anything going on in your world, buddy? There, Bushey.
Dude, you gotta talk about that game you were just showing me.
That was going to say.
Well,
any video games, rap, anything to update everybody?
Nothing really going on in rap that I'm aware of. Pretty just.
I saw some P. Diddy videos were quote unquote leaked, and it just seemed like Kevin Hart was on there and having fun with people. So
I haven't watched anything Diddy in a week or two.
I do want you to, however, talk about, because this is something that is always fun to me. You revisited an album that you haven't heard in a long time this week.
Oh yeah. Lil Wayne's The Carter 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I had no idea that shit came out in 2005.
And you revisited it because we were talking about lyrics. So lyrically, Lil Wayne's one of those guys that his lyrics are so fucking clever in his wordplay. And so Fritz is a way bigger Lil Wayne fan than I am. But one of the things that's so great about him, he's so clever with his writing. You were trying to find a lyric you had told me about.
Well, you had told me your favorite lyric, and then I was like, I can't remember mine, but one day I'll find it and I'll send it to you, and so I did, and it was off of the Money on My Mind on the Carter 2. But yeah, no, after revisiting that album, it still holds up, and it's still in my top 3 favorite albums of all time. Rap albums. I keep them separate.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight.
Well, there's just too many albums overall to not have like your favorites separated by genre. You know what I mean? Like there's no way with as eclectic music selection as I like that I can go, oh, these are my top 3 favorite of all time without separating them by genre. There's just no way.
I hate to sound so elitist about this, but whenever someone says, "What's your favorite song?" if you can answer it with one singular song, you're not a music person. That's just my personal opinion.
No, I absolutely.
Yeah, because there's no way to pick.
I don't even know if I could have a top 10 songs. I feel like I'd have to be in like the 15 to 20 range.
I agree.
I'm looking at.
It makes me really good at music.
This article on Revolt.com or .tv. 25 Lil Wayne bars that prove he's one of the best to ever do it. What exactly is a bar? Isn't that music?
It's a musical.
It's like
a form of measure.
Yeah,
okay.
it's basically like 4 lines, right? Like
no,
a
bar is 4 measures. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 times 4. That's a bar.
Okay.
So 16 words.
16 bars is typically a verse.
More like 16 sentences.
16.
But it could, depending on how fast you're at, it could be 2 or 3 words per quarter bar.
All right, let me go to the top 3. Let me go to the top 3 and play these examples. Top 3 is Money on My Mind. Let me.
That's the one
that was on the top 3?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it says, "Dear Mr. Toilet, I'm the shit."
Are you
No.
Hold on. Let me do it. Dear Mr. Toilet, I'm the shit. Got these other haters pissed because my toilet paper thick.
That's where it stops.
Yeah, I know, but I sent it to you. But
that's the
line.
line.
I know, but this 40. But if you trip this 40, take a whip out of potato head chip, then like ranch, I dip.
It's catchy. Dear
That's
Mr.
so
Toilet,
funny.
I'm the shit. That's it's awesome. All right, number 2 is Fly In.
That's on the Carter 2, by the way.
It says, "Yeah, I'm eating, but I got a tapeworm in my tummy. Oh."
I don't.
That's what it says. That's what it says.
But that song, Takeoff or Liftoff or whatever it is on the Carter 2.
All right. Yep, the Carter 2. That's what it says. All right, and the number 1, I Miss My Dogs. I guess is a song. The bars are my partner, I was teacher, he was father, I skilled, he schooled, we chilled, we moved, we thug, we hung, we ate, we slept, we lived, we died, I stayed, you left.
That was nasty, yeah.
Yeah.
He says a lot, and like just single double words.
A lot of people consider Eminem number 1 and Lil Wayne number 2. I actually personally think they're tied. Their styles are just different.
Their styles are way different, but Eminem and Lil Wayne both have that one thing that gets my attention is that they're creative. They're creative. They're clever. Like my line that I was telling him about, my favorite Lil Wayne song is one of the lines he says, "My pistol means business. That shit should have a tie on."
That is funny.
That's fucking funny as shit. Yeah.
You know when he started rapping?
What year?
Oh, he was like 13 or 14.
At the tender age of 12, he was signed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What's even crazier is by that time he had probably already killed people for Birdman. No, you think this is no joke.
3-6 Mafia.
Yeah. Well, no.
He was
Cash Money.
He was Cash Money. Yeah, Cash Money.
You took my Pokemon cards. Bam, bam, bam.
It's debatable. What place was worse to grow up, Louisiana or Memphis?
Yeah,
it's kind of a toss up.
Well, both of them are in economically depressed areas.
Oh yeah, but and down south. So
Honey, I have some bad news.
I'm sorry, I'm John Candy stuff. He has some bad news. He's
it's funny because when you talk about and this probably shouldn't be a barometer, but like any place that is economically pressed, you will have great fucking hip hop out of. We got that out of the Houston scene, St. Louis, Memphis, Louisiana, Atlanta, all of these places that had like socially economic areas that have ghettos and people who are hungry create great fucking hip hop music.
Well, and also yet again going back to I always prefer the musicians that are real.
Yeah.
You can tell most of the time when they're talking about actual life experiences, and just like movies, usually the more tragic or the more crime ridden or the more interesting it is.
Yeah,
It just is.
Oh yeah. And also, think about Compton, right? Compton used to be a well-to-do, affluent, middle-class neighborhood that ended up becoming a ghetto.
Downtrodden.
And then look at the people that came out of that: Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Eazy-E, NWA, the entire band of Body Count, Ice-T, and every member of that band. Think about a metal band made of black people from an inner city like Compton. But Body Count, a fucking metal band out of Compton. Like that is whenever you have an area like that, creativity becomes a must.
Mm-hmm.
And people's minds have to be expanded in order to take in all the bullshit they're dealing with, and you get creative people who are able to have a voice and change things. And that's what's awesome about areas like that. I hate that people had to deal with being hungry and not knowing where their next meal's coming from, but you get amazingly influencing people out of situations like that,
Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure where my next meal's coming from, but I know I'm going to have it on the way home. God damn it.
So can also...
They're going to pass it to me through a window.
Hopefully.
So Bushey was showing me this game he's playing out on the patio.
So
and I immediately said, okay, I need to know what the fuck this is. Apparently it's a mobile game?
Yep, mobile game. Occasionally I stray away from the console games a little bit because I want to catch up on a TV series or watch movies or something, and I get tired of just listening to First Amendment auditors on YouTube while I play my Xbox.
I've been watching some of those.
Oh,
I didn't know they actually have a title now.
Oh, dude. And it's so funny because there is like 10% of the First Amendment auditors that are good at what they do, and they're probably making a positive impact, and they keep their cool, and they're not rude and all this. And then you've got the other 90% that are just jackasses with a phone saying they're a journalist working on a story. They can't disclose you what it is. By the way, there's never a story. I have probably watched no less than 500 to 1,000 first, and I've never seen the story. Not once has it ever been, the video of the fucking story. If you're actually looking for good audit videos, Sean from Long Island Audit is about one of the only ones that I actually like.
A First Amendment auditor basically is a guy that goes around filming stuff of public servants, right?
So the ones that I think that are doing a good job usually go to courthouses or places of public aid, for where you're supposed to go to get government aid.
Okay.
And they're basically just trying to either they like I said, Sean from Long Island Audit is actually pretty legit, as far as I know. Yeah, I
They're
could
trying
be
to
totally
hold people
tricked.
accountable
but hold people accountable and go to places that maybe there have been complaints about. Hey, I've been trying to get this service here for 3 months and nothing's happening.
Right.
And
All right,
a lot of times the people where they go to film are immediately aggressive and trying to kick them out, but apparently filming is a First Amendment protected act as long as you say that you're a journalist, and there's like all these little loopholes that they use. And like I said, I like the ones that are respectful and everything, but hold the cops accountable.
Yeah, those are what pop up on mine.
But I don't like the ones where they're just like, "Get out of here, pig! You work for me."
Yeah,
blah, blah. It's
yeah.
like you're literally adding just as much into the problem as an asshole officer.
Yeah.
You know
Exactly,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like I hate those, but they're entertaining.
Yeah, no, the ones I see a lot like are trying to catch cops doing like wrong things, like they like frisk people for just being black or something. Then they start telling people stop filming this, and they go, "No, I'm a First Amendment auditor. I can film whatever I want."
They make themselves more of a problem than the problem was to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the problem. But anyway, I digress. That was
So video game.
So anyway, I'm back on a mobile game kick. I'll get to the point where I'm like, let me download the last 10 mobile games I've seen ads for, and give them all an honest try. I had Marvel Strike Force has been out for like 7 years, 6 years, something like that, and I always stayed away from it because the ads for it was fucking horrible. They were annoying little skits. No gameplay was ever shown. It was the commercials that are so annoying that as soon as it comes on, you've heard it before, you're like hovering over the little, 3 second, 5 second countdown for the skip button because you're like, oh my God, if I hear this one more fucking time.
Oh, I recognize this. I see this in the comic books a lot. They advertise.
It is the best done mobile game that I've ever played. It is the best way I could explain it, like I said to Dirt, was it feels like Final Fantasy X, but a mobile game and all the Marvel universe. And the little storyline they got is really good. You like start off as the heroes, then you switch over and you start playing as the villains, and then you have to work together as the hero and the villains, and you can kind of combine your good. At first, you can only use these characters for these missions, but then you're like the good and the bad come together to go after like.
So you get you form like a stable.
Oh yeah, I've been playing 3 days and I've got like 40 characters already.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, and I mean you can scroll and scroll and scroll. 40 characters of scrolling. You know how you got a little slide bar. 40 characters is like an eighth of the way down the list.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of Marvel characters out there.
So he showed me. So Bushey made a couple of videos of like his playing this game, and I just tell him I think what we should do is when you get on a game like that send me that stuff. Like let's put it on the YouTube page because those kind of game reviews. I don't know how many times I've seen a commercial for a game and there's no gameplay in it whatsoever, or you see like. The one that everyone knows is Clash of Clans.
Yep,
they play it constantly on these commercials, and then you download the game and it looks nothing like the commercials.
Yeah.
So if it's like, what do you say? Who's it said? Your buddy, was it Zach? It said no gameplay.
Oh yeah. No gameplay, no hype.
Yeah. But the videos that you just showed me, are you showing the video or
It's
showing
strictly
the game?
It's all gameplay.
It's all gameplay. Right, so send me those. Let's start putting those on the website, on the YouTube once a week of whatever game you're playing, because that's cool shit. Like, I never would have even thought to play that game had you not showed me that. But, like, it's all the Marvel Universe. So you got all these characters. Like, the one you were showing me, you built a faction that was almost all X-Men, right?
Yeah, all X-Men. And one of the coolest things about the game is all the synergies that... like each character has like between 5 and 7 or 8 origins.
Yeah.
So you got like cosmic, mutant, bio, symbiote, all these things. And depending on what those characters are, when you make your team of 5, they'll get all different bonuses. And it'd be like, oh, when this character attacks, this one will attack right behind them because they're both symbiote and things like that.
So if you build a team that have all like complementing factors, then it helps you in a
Well,
whole.
for instance, they give you, like a power number. There's numbers attributed to all this stuff.
Yeah.
And like my strongest squad right now is like around like 22 or 25,000 power, something like that.
Yeah.
If you take say 22,000 versus 22,000, and this squad is synchronized up well, you know what I mean, paired up well with people that they synergize with versus another squad, you'll get smoked. But I've actually beat, I've beat a 25,000 with a 22,000 because they weren't, synced up well, and I had 100%, X-Men team or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is this what you're talking about? Let me play this.
Like I said, most of their ads are so terrible.
No. Oh, no.
Welcome to Strike Force. You are an elite battle squad assembled to defend Earth. This is who we're up against. The alien
This is
warlord
better than any of the
Ultimus and his
commercials I've
three
ever seen.
soldiers who have joined forces
This
with
looks like a
Hydra
full-length
and
trailer.
AIM.
Is that
Now, I
Nick
know
Fury?
some of you aren't used
Yeah,
to fighting
Fury.
side by side with each other. But the world needs you to put aside
It looks
your
good. Does it
feuds
look like
and
this?
stand
Yes,
together.
I'll show you when we go back
Let
out
me
to the
show
board.
you what to expect.
Assemble your squad.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. This is like any kid that grew up reading comic books.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
wish you could make your own team. Now you get to see what fucking happens.
I'm telling
Yes.
you, wait till I show you the actual combat. Oh, well, that's it. Yeah, that's actual combat right there. Now, see, that was Captain America and Iron Man.
Yep.
If they wouldn't have been together, Iron Man would have just went up in the air and shot rockets. But because Captain America's there, he shoots a laser at his shield.
Bounces
and-
off the
yeah.
That's the thing they do in the comics a lot. Well, very cool. I'll check that fucking out, man.
Well, and a funny thing, I used to, every game I played, I always ran the guild.
Yeah.
I was always like a guild master or team leader or, alliance, whatever. And then I just got tired of it. It usually comes with some responsibility, and then instead of playing when you want to play, you got to put out fires between people and instruct people on how to play and stuff like that. So I got away from it. I'm not sure exactly how the alliances work in this game, but apparently it's like an automatic thing. And next thing I know, when I joined an alliance, I'm the leader. So the first alliance I went into, all of a sudden I'm the leader, and I was like, fuck it. I guess I'll go back to being a leader again.
Are you your own character, or do you have to select a character to be?
No, you're all the characters.
You're all okay. All right.
All the characters you can add to your team, to
And
your
you can-
squad. Yeah.
You pair them up however you want.
Oh, very cool. Very well. Check it out. I might not. I might say I might. Quite honestly, I'll.
Well, it's a mobile game, so you can literally download it to your phone, and while you're not doing anything, just pop it up and
Play it on a 10-hour road trip with your family.
No, not gonna do it. All right, let's. You ready to wrap this up?
I am. I've got a song to end the show with because there was a celebrity death that was a really big deal this week. That in the music business, if you're not aware,
Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
That one?
No.
God damn it.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind.
No, we lost Quincy Jones this week.
Oh.
At the age of 91. And so, for those of you who are music people, Quincy Jones is...
Diddy.
I mean, dude, he was like the guy. He was the producer of Thriller. But
was he?
Yeah, I mean...
He produced everything.
Everything, yeah, literally. Quincy Jones, and also he gave birth to Rashida Jones from Parks and Rec, and the actress that everybody knows. She's been around forever. But, yeah, man.
I also liked his restaurant, Quincy's.
Oh,
Jeez.
Was that not his?
No, that was not him. But I was actually just in this last couple minutes thinking, I was like, oh, what song am I going to play for, am I going to play to, like, honor him? And, like, Motown, take your pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is probably the best one. This is from 1971. He produced this record for Marvin Gaye. You guys know Marvin Gaye?
No, I've heard of him. Yeah.
And I think today everyone's fighting with each other and nobody can agree on anything. And I think this is
he died just a few days ago on the 3rd.
Yeah, this is the song I think would be the best way to send off Quincy Jones and go, hey man, thanks for all the tunes, thanks for that cameo in Austin Powers where you scored Austin Powers, gold member. Like he just
91 years old.
One of those guys who could do no fucking wrong. This is a song called "What's Going On." And tell me, right when you hear this, you immediately go, oh, "Okay, yeah." So, rest in peace, Quincy Jones. With his voice.
Mother, there's too many of you crying.
All right, you've been listening to Pop Culture Radio. We will see you again next week. Everybody, take care of each other. Have a good time. Laugh. Crack jokes.
Friday night, cancel your plans. Sit by the computer or the radio or however you listen to the
You
program.
all have Netflix. Watch Netflix and listen to us.
There
Turn
you go.
on Netflix. Hit mute. Turn on Pop Culture Radio. We'll fucking talk to you. And
What are
we'll
they watching on Netflix? Just the home screen?
No, Netflix. The fight is on Netflix.
Oh, they're watching while we talk.
Mike Tyson fight is live on Netflix.
That's a great idea.
Because you know what? The broadcasters on Netflix are not going to be doing? Making fun of that guy's fucking shorts. And we will. We'll make fun of that guy's fucking shorts, and they won't do it. So you fucking watch the fight, listen to us. We'll do the play-by-play. It'll be on that goddamn screen right here in the studio with all of us.
You better not make fun of my shorts.
Wait, no, that was Michael Jackson. That wasn't
Mike Tyson.
Michael Tyson.
All right. Have
I'll
a good week.
I'll work on my impression over the week.
We will see you guys on Friday. Have a good week.
Pop Culture Radio has been a Weird Florida production. Like and subscribe on your favorite platform.